We are back with more most anticipated for Essen. Last minute, we know, but this is a list that we thought was going to sort of like overlap with our main list. This is expansions. There's so many expansions that we thought, let's just cover them in a separate little video. So this one's going to be definitely shorter than our other video for our most anticipated overall. But there are some pretty big expansions coming.
Yeah, I mean, most of these were on my list originally, and I took them off because, we like to talk about the big new releases, not necessarily like all of these games could have been on that list. They would have taken up half the list. So we thought it was better if you're interested in expansions, this is the video for that.
And a lot of these are for games that have been on prior Essen, the most anticipated list.
Huge, and you'll find some things in common with some of these games too.
Indeed. The first one is Galileo Galilei Luna. This is an expansion to a game that came out at Essen last year from Thomas Holick, who's done, I mean, he's probably done 8 more expansions by the time we're saying this. This one, it adds a number of different things to Galileo Galilei. One, it adds new player powers, which the game already had.
I think it's 3 new player powers.
Yeah, and which they were awesome in the first game, so I'm really interested to see this. The big thing, and by big I do mean big, is the moon board, the board that is the Luna, if you will. It starts with all these tiles over it, so you don't even see the moon, but as you're discovering the moon, because it's another thing that you can kind of like observe in the game, you're going to be taking these tiles off and uncovering pieces of the moon. I don't know if you'll ultimately uncover the entire moon.
It depends. It depends on how much people...
I guess.
How much people observe it. And it also comes with new Grand Inquisitors, which are like these big evil Inquisitor dudes.
I hate those guys.
They're like special Inquisitors. They're bigger, and they have, like, they're harder to move, or they give you more negative points or whatever. But if you do manage to convert them, then they actually give you some bigger benefits as well. So it's like a higher risk, higher reward when you're bringing in the Grand Inquisitors.
Yeah, that's an interesting aspect to the original game. The Inquisitors, it's like in a Stefan Feld game where you have to like suffer the penalties, or an UVA game where you have to pay
Inquisitors
food for your people.
Going the Inquisitor strategy is hard, but this with Luna, you have a whole new way of scoring points too. So not only, I think I said 3, it might be 4. It's 3 or 4 new player powers.
Yeah.
And then the moon board itself is huge. And then, of course, like new cards and everything, too. So it's quite a big expansion for Galileo Galilei. Yeah.
It is. The next one, I don't know if it's as big, but this one is for a game that is near and dear to Ryan's heart. It's Nucleum. And what's this expansion called?
This is the Energy Research Institute. So we've had a few expansions for Nucleum. This game continues to be one of my top games and continues to be kind of just a game that people are enjoying still, which is great.
It's a lot of game.
It is a lot of game. This one brings in 8 new experiments. So if you've never played Nucleum, the twist of the game is that every experiment board gives you just drastically different starting tiles, different powers that you can unlock, and even different scoring conditions. And there were 4 of them in the game. And every time you play, you use a different one. It kind of changes things up for you. We give 8 more. I mean, that's crazy.
Do you know, have the other expansions included any of those?
No, Australia and Quarter Progress, they didn't have any new experiments. Yeah, no, this is, so we have 12 now?
Wow.
12 total experiment boards. Plus this introduces something called patrons, which you're going to be able to like gain benefits from. But people are coming to this for the experiments, and some of them are wild. Like, these are really, really cool. And,
well, you'll have to tell me all about it when you play.
Maybe someday we'll get you to play Nucleum.
I don't want to hate on the game. It's just a lot of games.
It is a lot of games.
And with all these expansions, it seems like an insane amount.
Yeah, but they all mix and match, which is interesting too. So like the first expansion, the Australia expansion, is just like a new board.
Yeah.
And you can mix and match these. You can use Quarter Progress or Energy Research Institute together with either board. So you can't use all of them.
Yeah.
Because you can't use both side by side. I don't know. No, but really, you pick and choose between the boards.
All right. Well, the next one is something I've played. It's something I will play with this expansion. And again, if we're talking Essen, we're talking Thomas Holick these days.
It's crazy.
This is an expansion for SETI. It's called Space Agencies. Yep. This adds a lot of different things to SETI. First of all, the obvious. Everyone who played SETI was like, oh, I wonder if they'll do new aliens. Yes, they did. There are, I think, 3 new ones. I think there were 5 in the original. I'm not 100% sure, but there's 3 new aliens, one of which incorporates another new mechanic or new token, if you will, these signal tokens, so that when you're scanning, if you have these tokens, which you can collect in a few different ways, you're able to discard one of those tokens to send out another signal out there. So You can actually get more of those out on the board, so it kind of pushes things forward. Also, kind of like brings more cards out of the main row, if you will, and sort of cycle those cards. It does sound like, because Thomas has worked on a few expansions lately, and the ones I've looked at, it sounds like they've really taken the game and thought, okay, where could I have done things a little bit better? What are some things I can address? And I know that's how a lot of people approach expansions, but these really seem to like not fix, but enhance or make a few things better. Not to mention, this one really pushes things forward in a Terraforming Mars prelude sort of way. It kickstarts the game. People get these cards that give them things at the beginning of the game, up to and including like putting things out on the main board
like
to begin
the variable space agencies.
Yeah, you don't get those bonuses. Oh, yeah, well, and the space agencies themselves are variable player powers.
Yeah, that's you can't hide that. That's why
the big one.
That's what I'm coming in. No, you know what? Actually, this is the first time I'll say it's maybe not the variable player powers. I'm maybe more excited about the 3 new alien
Oh,
races
really?
Well, that's the bit. That was the moment in SETI that made me fall in love with that game.
Sure.
Is the first time you flip over the alien. Now I've seen them all. So the fact that I can and I'm not going to read about
3
them.
more.
I'm not going to read about them beforehand. You know, just like you didn't do in SETI. Like I had no idea what we were flipping over. I like that reveal of flipping over the new alien race.
Well, I will say that is exciting, but the space agencies,
I mean,
these
I do
are
love that.
Think corporations in Terraforming Mars. They have that level of impact. They're definitely going to kind of push players in certain directions. Not to mention, they give you variable starting resources, and they really push things forward. The game is only 4 rounds now. So they've actually eliminated one of the 5 rounds. So it really kind of like moves the game along.
Well, yeah, considering the fact that the first round was generally considered being the most boring round anyway, because your hands are mostly tied. So giving that prelude-esque boost. Which, by the way, let's talk about the fact that Terraforming Mars has made that so synonymous that everyone calls it a prelude style. Like, that's just what a cool
I can't
moment.
imagine that Terraforming Mars was the first to do that, but it is definitely the most significant because so many people had been playing it, and it was like a very welcome addition.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that in SETI too.
Yeah, it's really good. The next one we want to talk about is Windmill Valley Bloomin' Sails. This is for, if you're not familiar with Windmill Valley, it was a game, a year ago? A little over a year ago.
Board and Dice
Maybe
has had
2.
a lot of games come out. So
yeah, Board and Dice, slow down. You're putting out too many euros all at one
euros.
time. You can pace yourselves a little bit more. But Windmill Valley is one you may have overlooked. It's definitely a medium weight euro. Definitely lighter than a lot of their more recent games that they've put out, for sure, I think.
It was on the lighter side.
But Bloomin' Sails adds quite a bit. There's this whole sail board, a pretty significant board where you're going to be moving ships around, and all the different locations you can go to are also variable because they're made up of 2 tiles. There's like a big tile and then a little tile that fits into it. So every time you play, that combination is going to be different. But it just blows the game up to a medium plus for sure.
Well, it expands like what was considered like the weakest thing, which was just like turning in the contracts. It's just like get the tulips, turn in the contracts, you're done. Now you're sailing to all these different ports, and based on the tulips you have, you're trying to take them to different ports now. It's not as simple as just turning them in. You're manipulating your ship, and you're kind of having to weigh some multiple benefits because based on which port you're in, you're going to get some additional bonuses on the calendar as well. So you're kind of wanting to maybe time your deliveries to where you want your ship to be to get the right bonuses that you want, but also you want to be able to maximize your deliveries. So I think this does add quite a bit of thought to the game.
Yeah, and it's not just that either. There's all sorts of new components. They have a lot of more of all the stuff, including even a new calendar. They have a calendar that actually makes the game a little bit more of an advanced game. So they've definitely taken this game and thought, okay, let's ratchet up the weight for our hardcore fans, which they have a lot.
The game sold well. I mean, it sold well enough to support an expansion, so I'm excited to play it.
So the last one we want to talk about, and this list was in no particular order, but this is definitely my most anticipated. This is the Veil of Eternity Curse. This is the second expansion to Veil of Eternity and the last expansion, so we're told. And it makes a nice sort of picturesque panorama if you put all 3 boxes side by side. This one, too, adds variable player powers, which is probably the big star of the show. It's not associated with the name Curse. Curse are these curse tokens that you're going to get. And it's kind of this mechanism where you've got bad stuff, and I think everyone starts for the most part with bad stuff, and then you have to get rid of it.
A lot of the well, I think all the variable player powers, or at least most of them, interact with the curses in some way too. So you might not necessarily like be cursed characters, but I think you need to use curses if you want to use the variable player powers. I don't think you can just use the powers.
Yeah, you can use, by the way, can use curse without the first expansion, but you can combine both. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think even with both, I don't know that I would teach the game to new players right off the bat with both, but maybe with one of them and probably artifacts. I'm not sure, but this expansion, we've played it a number of times already. This might solidify Veil of Eternity as my number one
as
game.
If it wasn't. This is what it took to, I think it solidified the first time you ever played it.
I'm just going to say right now, I'm the world's biggest fan of Veil of Eternity. If you think you like it better than me, let me know in the comments below.
David's the president of the fan club, so to speak.
If there is an unofficial fan club, and if there isn't, I'm starting it right now. Join down in the comments. I am the president of the fan club.
It's a great game.
It is a great game.
There's no... I don't think I enjoy it as much as you do. I don't think anybody enjoys
Nobody
it as much as you do. But I do really like it. And I'm excited for Curse to come out to the general. We've gotten to play this one.
Yeah, we got it a little early. I think because I'm the president of the fan club, they sent us a copy early, but it's coming out at Essen, and then I think it'll be available very quickly afterwards. Renegade's bringing it out here to the States. We do have a few more honorable mentions. In fact, these could have been on the list as well. These aren't not quite as good.
Yeah, but some of them are just like smaller in scale.
Yeah, a couple of them are smaller in scale. One of them is Lord of the Rings Dual Alliances or Allies, and we had actually thought that this was Pantheon level type expansion for
a full box expansion.
This looks to be a significant addition, but it is just like I think a pack of cards. So there's these allies cards. Both sides get some ally cards at the beginning of the game. You shuffle those up. You take 3. You put the rest away. So you're only going to have 3 ally cards in your hand. The other player doesn't know what they are. And then out on the sort of display of cards each round, there's going to be some of these tokens. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 per round, something like that. When you take a card that has a token on it, or I think that's how it works, you get the token. Yeah. And these tokens are going to be, once you have them, you can use them to play one of those cards anytime on your turn. Anytime on your turn. And the interesting thing about the cards, they all have 2 powers. One is an entrance power. So when you play it, that's the one you have to play first. And you have to play the entrance power before you can play the exit power, which is once you play that, then the card goes away and you've kind of tapped that ally as they've kind of come in and done their thing and then left.
It is like it's a little bit of Pantheon vibes.
A little bit like the gods.
The way that you're taking the tokens and using them to buy to bring the gods up, but simplified.
Yeah.
Which I think this game did a lot of simplification to Lord of the Rings, or to Seven Wonders Duel, to make it Lord of the Rings themed, and I like it better. And I think Allies, this is an easy expansion to add in.
It is. I would just say it's somewhere between promo and expansion.
Right. I think that's some of these other ones too. Like Far Away is getting a new expansion, but again, it's just like a small little blister pack. It's like 12 cards.
It's really cool though. We don't know what the English name is. It's something Among the Stars or something like that.
The translation is like Under a Sky of Stars.
Yeah. And
I don't know what it'll be.
These meteor cards that allow you to, I won't go into details, but allows you to keep some of your cards face up during scoring that you wouldn't otherwise keep face up, and introduces, I think, some new scoring possibilities. Mm-hmm. They're just mixed in with the region cards, which is really cool. And it's a great game.
And I don't know, I think I might be more excited about this than you, but Civolution is getting a small box expansion.
You are.
And this is, again, like maybe more of a promo. Like, I don't know, this.
Oh, really?
They blur the lines, right? It's not a big box expansion. It's just like there's like monsters that come out. There's like some new tiles you can take to get some powers. Like, it's not a huge expansion. It does seem like it adds quite a bit to the game, but again, it's not a big box expansion. It's called Acceptance Letter, and I'll add it in, but you know, again, like
it only adds 3 more hours to the game, from what I understand. I'm kidding.
That's 3 modules, I guess, if you use all 3 modules.
The game is a big one. If you haven't played, I haven't played Civolution.
It is my favorite. It's my favorite Feld. I'll say it. It's my favorite.
Blasphemous.
I love it.
All right, the last one we wanted to talk about is Tea Garden. You know why not finish off with another one from Thomas Hollick? Tea Garden. It's Pura, I think is how it's pronounced. is an expansion. The big thing that this does, and I haven't played Tea Garden. Ryan
I've played
has.
it. Yep, that's good.
But Tea Garden has like 5 main actions you can take. On your turn, you take one of these 5 actions. This is a pretty significant an expansion in that it adds 2 whole new main actions that you could take. So you have 7 total actions to choose from on your turn.
Yeah, and this made it to honorable mentions because we didn't want 3 Thomas Hollick games.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Take a vacation, Thomas, for God's sake.
He had 3 great games come out last year, and all 3 of them have gotten expansions. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and he's got
Well, and then not to mention, if you watch our other video, spoiler alert, his name pops up a couple times in that
a
video
few
too,
times.
which is wild.
He's taking over. He's taking over,
It
Thomas.
really is.
But that is all of the games we wanted to talk about, or expansions rather,
yeah.
that we're looking forward to at Essen. If there are any expansions that we forgot, or that you've heard of, or you're anticipating, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.